Thank you for inviting both of us, and thank you Reality Plus. I think for getting us this plan. I think ever since 2003, I was thinking when I know him, but I think literally when he joined his family office, the great business that his uncles hopefully set up, and I've worked with his family in the third generation, so I've known him very well. But here is something that I really pulled out today. I said, what will I talk? I know him so well, I'll probably just get very personal. So I said, let me pull out something. And it's one page note that I pulled out on Ajmera. I said, let me first introduce the company properly so you know what legacy and disruption means. It's a company that sort of started 40 plus years ago, 50 years ago. And this is just the last quarter update, guys. I'm not even giving you. Revenue grew, EBITDA grew, PAT grew, sales volume has grown, collections have grown, and debt has come down. Guys, give him a big round of applause that even after 50 years, he's able to take everything right up and bring debt down, guys. It's not easy. You would think that this is all in place. It's there, but obviously not, right? This is just one quarter, and he's delivering these results year on year, and he's getting better at it. And the last thing that you should know is that this year the company is going to launch 9 projects with 7,000 crores top line. This is just Bombay, guys. I have not included his Ahmedabad and some other cities that he's grown. So my first question to you, Dhaval, is you've run this company for now nearly 20 years plus. There's so much you inherited and there's so much changed. How would you describe this company now and here? Where is it today? And how will you take it forward, right? Very brief, right? I don't want a last thing, but obviously you've seen the change, you felt the change. What is that change?
So firstly, thank you very, very much. Reality Plus, Tripti, Sapna, thank you so much for inviting us. Shobhit, I know you're going to take my class today. And Anuj being here, Dr. Anarock ji, you told him very well, he's not Amitabh Bachchan. He is forever young. वो पहले में देवानंद बोलते थे, अभी I think he's Tiger Shroff. So he's, where he is, he cannot change and he's always going to be like this. So thank you very much. So Shobhit, coming to your answer, yes, the company has, we've always thought about evolving every time we come up with new things. And we have always seen that if there is any disruption in the market, real estate is the first company or the first industry which actually grows really fast. And I remember during COVID times when we used to have those Zoom calls, what will happen about the real estate industry. And that was the first industry to really move up. That's the time when we realized that this is the opportunity for us to, leapfold the company from where it is today. We were very stable, if I have to say 10 years ago, very stable, growing 300, 400 crore top line with about 70, 80, 100 crore profit. And it was okay. But from COVID onwards, that's when we realized that this is where we need to move hands-on and take this into 4x. So we moved up in a very, very strong way. And we realized that even though this real estate is a family business, which we are very proud, 3 generations working together, but we need professional hands. We need people who can be our eyes and ears and take this in a different angle and think about it in a different way than what normally a business would run. So I would say from the last 3-4 years, we are, the thought and the, thought process in the company to revolutionize the entire growth and not think about 1x or 2x, but actually grow 5 or 10x is what the thought process is driving us to move where we want to go.
So simply put, you've put the car in the 5th gear and you're putting the pedal. So nice. Whenever, you try to speed things up, and that's when the errors happen. And, Ajmera has built a very, very strong reputation. Like I said, when I moved in here in 2000, it was one of the top leading companies, and so it is today. You built all this trust and credibility over 3 generations, and you're still working together. How are you adapting to new age techniques, whether it is with designs, technology, or even sustainability, which has become now a very sort of focused area in construction. Everybody's talking about how green you go, how much cement or power do you save. How do you handle all of this?
So, we stand as an advantage of three generations. पुराना thought होता है कि थोड़ा, conservative रहे, ज़्यादा debt नहीं रखना है. We want to continue and definitely grow. The new generation comes with the fire to ensure that we bring in new technology, we bring in efficiency, we bring in sustainability and all of that. So it's a great mix, I would say, which helps us in being at a stable point, but at the same time adopt to new technologies. And one thing is, in our company, be it our chairman or any one of the older generations, they know that real estate is somewhere we need to change. Unless we don't change, things will be, we can't make just brick and mortar. We need to have something different every time and any time if we want to make landmarks. And today, real estate is only about not brick and mortar, but it is about creating those landmarks, which will, because that's your brand identity now. I personally feel any building what you are making is not just a building, but it is your brand identity, which will continue for the generations to come. So looking at all of that, I think that's where we've completely adopted to new technologies. We're still learning a lot because every time new things come in. But we are very averse to, and we are not averse, but I would say we are very pro-sustainable homes. All our houses, all our flats, all our projects which are coming are definitely green homes. We are not changing anything on that. That's a non-compromise.
Non-compromise. So you're saying the blend of old and good is really nice.
Absolutely.
So it does remind me of what we all should be drinking after this. Yeah. But doesn't matter, guys. So moving on, just like I said, change is really, really important. And Dhaval just mentioned how things are changing at every aspect, and sustainability is at the center. Let me bring about one point. When we spoke about 2003, and Anurag mentioned and Anuj mentioned, Bombay is the largest real estate market. It had very different characteristics back then, extortion, etc., etc. All of that has died out, which means that it's become much more easy for business to happen. And the testament of that is every developer of repute from any other city, whether it's Pune, Bangalore, Delhi, Chennai, is coming into this city. How are you dealing with this intense competition? Where is it taking all of us? Is it threatening you? And you're still growing. So what's going on, right? So many new entrants, and yet you are able to grow.
So, Shobhit, the real estate market, as Anuj said, that today MMR and Mumbai contribute to 50% of the entire real estate volume-wise of the real estate market of India. So definitely there is something which is driving the market. I personally believe is the infrastructure, because unless and until the infrastructure doesn't grow, the market cannot grow. And we have seen disruptive changes in the real estate market, at least in Mumbai and MMR, in terms of infrastructure. And as far as competition is concerned, there is enough and more for everyone and anyone to come in and probably still absorb. And I personally believe competition is actually great. Because when we have such great players from coming outside India, outside Bombay, and developing landmarks in Mumbai, I think it is only showing the kind of respect this real estate market gives. And it will continue to have. So if there is a competition, I personally take this as a, as a benchmark that, okay, if someone from, let's say, Mr. Irfan Razak Prestige is doing a project and they're doing landmark projects in Mumbai, which actually sets the benchmark to many one of us that, okay, we cannot be sustaining over here. We need to up the thing coming up over here. So competition today, even if anyone and everyone coming in here, I still believe there is enough and more market in the space for every one of us to eat right. But yes, at the same time, I also believe, established players will continue to dominate better because they have a name which has been earned over the years.
Yeah, so you clearly are getting the benefit of the name that has been created, and you're saying competition is healthy, it's good, and it really just brings up the whole quality. Again, I'm just going back to the point that, Bombay, you mentioned infra is coming up. as new infra is coming up, government is increasing the density, which means you can build more on that piece of land that you had. And this has fueled redevelopment. Few years ago, when we started this business in Bombay, Anuj and I used to sell open pieces of land. We used to auction them. Now it's all about dealing with redevelopment. Where do you think the opportunity lies? Is it as big as we think it is going to be, that the whole city will kind of reinvent itself? Bandra Khar specifically, I think there are 10 projects being done on every single road. Same with Juhu. So Bombay is literally rising up. How do you see this here?
So, Bombay earlier, if you look at the FSI, right, it was 1.85. Today, at any given point in time, depending on the road width, and maximum years available is 5, 6 or 7. So definitely it's gone 6 to 7 times the FSI has gone up. So that's where the opportunity has come in, number one. Number two, Bombay has seen the kind of buildings which were built at 0.85 FSI or 1 FSI, and now when you have the opportunity to go up to 5 times or 6 times of that, definitely it will demand a redevelopment, and that is where we are seeing a lot of redevelopment coming. And with the kind of infrastructure which is coming in, everyone now wants to stay in their particular micro market. So if I'm staying in Bandra, I would want to stay in Bandra and I would not want to go out, and I would prefer to have, or if I'm staying in Borivali, I think if you look at every micro market, Borivali earlier would be, I'm just giving an example today, 25, 30,000 is the price. But in same vicinity, you will find some buildings which will command a 40 and a 50,000 also. So certain areas of Borivali are a elite or a niche, and certain areas would probably be affordable or at that micro market. So and that is the reason why, because there are people who want to stay in that micro market and they are okay to pay that premium to stay around there. So my belief is that although so much of redevelopment happening, although a lot of them are happening a little haphazard, I think the government is doing right by introducing a lot of cluster redevelopment, because that is where we will see infrastructure in the right way. Because just developing single buildings, we are just making every building very nearer to each other. If we do cluster, it is more of a better planning, better open space, and better surrounding than probably a single building. So that's where I feel cluster should be more encouraged than single building.
Excellent. So redevelopment is the way to go, because premiumization
Absolutely.
is happening, consolidation is happening. It'll bring me, because we are talking about disruption, I can't talk about anything other than technology. I think in our sector, which is property, technology is a laggard. It is very slow. Cars are now moving self on their own. We are still very, very labor oriented. How do you see technology being adopted, and what are you guys specifically doing? What is the use case for you guys to say this is the easy fix? What are some of the key changes you've seen?
Look, today, earlier in the days, probably we were a lot dependent on labor in terms of every aspects of construction. Now with the kind of formwork technology or the other technologies that come in, we are trying to get ready buildings or ready walls, everything together, precast slabs, precast walls, which saves time, gives a better quality, and it is more efficient. So you are utilizing less labor. Labor is going to become challenging in the going forward. I believe with all those prop tech which are coming in and the kind of ideas which are there, I think it is going to change the real estate market in a very, very different way. Although we are at a very nascent stage, but I think in the next 5 years, we will see much multifold use of it. And the most other important, I personally believe in the coming time, is going to be modular homes, which will, I think, in the next 5 years or 7 years start picking up, and that will really change the market, where your entire house is been built at a factory and just been transported and put in like a blockchain and made the entire building ready.
So you're saying it's going to get more industrialized.
Absolutely.
And therefore technology is inevitable.
Yes.
We've got the last literally 1 minute, so I'm going to also move like you to the 5th gear. So I have 5 or 6 questions which are rapid fire, and Dhaval, I want you to be as crisp as possible. You mentioned about landmark. One Mumbai landmark you wish Ajmera's had built. What is that?
Oh, I think township, but I would say Hiranandani Pawai,
Hirandani Pawai. The boldest risk you have taken in the career.
where we constructed 3 basements in a rocky surface, which took us 6 months or 9 months to actually do it.
I thought you were going to say I'm married. One global city that inspires your vision for Mumbai.
Dubai.
Real estate buzzword you think is overhyped.
Real estate buzzword.
Buzzword which you think is overhyped. Is it redevelopment? Is it something? I don't know. That bugs you.
I think more is looking at changes in approvals, I would say, which I believe that we should be happy with what it is, but rather than changing more and more approvals, I think be content with what approvals we have.
One word that describes the Indian home buyers of the future.
Green homes, and sustainable and technological homes.
Sustainable. The time is up, but Dhaval, I have one last question which is not related to real estate, and this is just for you. If it was not real estate, what would you be doing?
Oh, that's something which I have not thought, but I'm a foodie. Probably I would have had more restaurants and probably cooked myself.
Thank you.
Which I don't do right now, but I would have.
Thank you. I didn't know, but I'm going to take you up on it one day, so I'm going to come to your house. But guys, that's what it is about. It's a very, very old legacy. They have a beautiful reputation. They have done development in a certain pace. It's changing rapidly. So Dhaval, all the best. And thank you very much for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you.
And thanks again, all of you,
I
for
just
being a
want to
good
end up
audience. A last round of applause for Dhaval, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So ladies and gentlemen, with that, as to stay back, allow me an opportunity to call upon Nitesh Gangaramani, Managing Director of Naisha Realty, to give a token of appreciation to both our dignitaries on stage. May we request Dhaval and Shobhit to please join us in the center of the stage, and may we request the mementos to be passed. If we could request Nitesh to do us the honor of giving the token of appreciation, starting with our speaker, Mr. Dhaval Ajmera. Let's give him once again a big and a mighty round of applause. Thank you, Dhaval, for joining us. And of course, to the session chair, let's give a big round of applause to Shobhit Agarwal. And as the smiles continue, may we request the 3 of you to step forward, allow us an opportunity to capture all of them in one frame. And I think it can only be encouraged with your round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the exclusive conversation between Shobhit and Mr. Ajmera.